So let's talk about Christmas on the carnivore diet. What did you eat? What did I eat? What shouldn't I have eaten? Did I eat things that I shouldn't have? Hi, I'm Sue. If you've not been to my channel before, I have been on the carnivore diet now for over 18 months, and this is actually my second Christmas. Today is the day after Boxing Day here in New Zealand, and I'm not working today, but I'm back at work from tomorrow. And so I thought I'd make a quick video just talking about eating at Christmas and the challenges. So, what did you eat? Did you stick to your diet? A lot of people really struggle with the holidays and the Christmas celebrations and what they can eat, what they can't eat, trying to resist the temptation of the foods that they don't want to include in their diet. And that kind of challenge is really real. For me, I think I've got used to being quite strict with my diet for a lot of years, and so it's not such a big deal for me, but the temptation's still there, and I did notice it this year. For me, I had kind of made the decision that I might make a little bit of allowance, and I had bought some dried mango and some dried berries. I eat berries anyway, so these dried mango and berries have got nothing else added to them. They're just the fruit. So I bought those as something to put out for nibbles, and I thought I might have some of those. And I had bought cheeses, but prior to Christmas we had visitors, and so leading up to Christmas Day there were a few little I guess still temptations. So leading up to Christmas, my last couple of days working, I had a couple of clients who gave me boxes of chocolates for Christmas. So I actually put them out over Christmas for friends and family that were here, although hubby did indulge in some of those. The chocolates themselves contained other things that I didn't want to put into my body. That's where reading ingredients is really important. I'm an ingredient reader from way back, and so I always check out the ingredients, and you know, if I'm going to allow myself to have something that's not normal in my diet, I will check the ingredients to make a decision about it, whether it's something that I'm willing to make a sacrifice for, I guess, or not. So leading up to Christmas, we had 4 days where we had visitors. So we had my parents here for a couple of days, and then we had some friends who came to visit, and they left on Christmas Eve. So they were here for a couple of days as well. Now, Mum and Dad being here is not such a big deal. They're really chill. They're used to the way that we eat, and so that was all good. When my friends arrived, so we actually haven't seen them. So yeah, I don't think we've seen them since we've been on the carnivore diet. And so my friend is vegetarian, and her hubby eats pretty much anything, although he eats a mostly vegetarian diet as well, because she is. And so before they came, she sent me a message and she said, book us in somewhere for dinner and we'll shout you guys out for dinner. And I was like, oh, okay, so here's a bit of a challenge. We live in a little town. There's only a handful of eating places, restaurants here. And I knew that some of them just were not going to be suitable at all. So I had a look online at the one that I thought might be able to cater for us without going out of town. And on their menu, they had no vegetarian meals on the menu that was online. But they did have at the bottom that they're willing to cater for, you know, different ways of eating, vegetarian, vegan, and food sensitivities, that sort of thing. So I phoned them and I said to the guy that answered the phone, I said, look, I'm thinking about booking a table for 4 of us. I said, but we have 1 vegetarian and 2 carnivores. I said, so I'm wondering if you'd be able to cater for us. I said, for us as carnivores, we're going to probably just be looking at some meat and eggs, that sort of thing. And he said, yep, that should be fine. He said the chef should be able to cater for you guys, no worries at all. So I booked the table. not quite knowing what to expect, because we didn't eat out a lot before we went carnivore, and now that we're carnivore we really don't ever. And so it's it presents a bit of a challenge, especially here in New Zealand. The carnivore diet isn't that well known. It's more well known in Australia, but obviously it's becoming more well known here, because I notice I have quite a few Kiwis now that comment on my videos. So it's growing here. So anyway, when we went to have dinner, I kind of wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, and so the waitress, when she came over, I said to her, there actually turned out there was a vegetarian menu on the back of their menu, so they didn't have that online, but they did have a vegetarian menu, so that was great. And so I said to the waitress, okay, I said, so we're eating a carnivore diet. I said, we really probably just want meat and eggs if we can get that. And she said, yep, that's no worries at all. She said, I'll just go and check with the chef. So she went out to the chef. She came back. She said, yep, that's fine. I said, and the eggs, if they're going to be fried, can we have them fried in butter and not vegetable oil? She said, yep, that's fine as well. So the last time we ate out was probably the beginning of my carnivore journey, and we went to another restaurant, local one here, and I asked for just steak and eggs, and the piece of steak that I got was this little thin, horrible bit of what was supposed to be Scotch fillet, and it was just this little tiny piece of meat and a couple of eggs, and they still charged over $40 for the meal. So I was kind of like, oh, what's going to happen tonight? So anyway, our meals came out, and we had big, thick pieces of juicy Scotch fillet cooked to perfection, and 3 fried eggs on each plate, and we were happy. I'm not sure what they charged, because I asked my friend and she didn't pay any attention. She just went and paid the bill. So I don't know whether they charged her full price for those meals, but they were still amazing. And my friends' meals were fantastic as well. So they were happy, we were happy, and it was all great. It was really funny, because after we had dinner, the girl that came to collect our plates, she was a different girl from the one that had served us initially, and she said, oh my God, she goes, are you guys carnivores? And I said, yeah, we are. And she was like, tell me about the benefits. She goes, because my boyfriend, my partner, is trying to convince me to go on the carnivore diet with him after Christmas. So I said to her, it's amazing, you won't regret it, give it a go. And I told her a little bit about what we've experienced, not a whole lot, because we were sitting there at dinner, and a lot of what's been going on with me, people don't really want to talk about it in a restaurant, but I just told her some of the little benefits, and so yeah, she was quite stoked to have actually met some people who are doing the carnivore diet. And I think that for her, that probably means that she's actually supposed to try it. The fact that she bumped into us at work and she knew that we were eating a carnivore diet, because that's the way things work. So that night when we went out, I did have a glass of wine. I hadn't had a glass of wine for quite a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then on the next day that they were here, we just ate at home, and that was all good. And then the following day was Christmas Day. So on Christmas Day, what we decided to do was we just had our son and daughter-in-law and a couple of her family here, just for kind of brunch over lunchtime nibbles, because they were cooking dinner for other members of her family that night. And so they were going to have to leave kind of late afternoon to go home and cook for them. And so we just had, I cooked some chicken legs, and we had those cold. We had, cheeses and that sort of thing. We had other bits and pieces out for them. And so we basically just ate, well, I ate chicken legs, cheese. I had bought some low alcohol wine, so I had some of that. And I actually really quite like Pinot Gris with loads and loads of ice. So the glass is actually more ice than wine, but being a low alcohol wine, I didn't really feel the effects of it anyway, so that was great. And then they asked us if we wanted to go around there for dinner that night, and we decided not to, because we were kind of a bit peopled out after having people here for 4 days. and I'm just someone who needs some space and some time by myself. So we stayed home and we just actually we cooked a leg of lamb and we had that with just a little bit of sauerkraut and some cheese. And then I had made a carnivore friendly ice cream, I guess. Dr. Kilt's does one that's similar, so it's basically just cream and egg. I did sweeten it with a little bit of allulose, although I don't know why I bothered because I didn't put enough in to actually make it sweet at all. So, you can sweeten it with whatever you like. You can sweeten it with allulose or erythritol if you do that, or stevia. Dr. Kilt's actually uses sugar in his, just plain white sugar. Um, you could use honey if you allow yourself honey, or you could just have it plain. So I made it with cream and egg and a little bit of allulose, and I used one of the doTERRA essential oil blends to flavour it. So that's one of the great things about the doTERRA oils, is that you can use them for flavouring without really adding the plant toxins if you're avoiding those, or the fibre. So what I did was they have a blend called Citrus Bliss, and I used that. So it's basically all the citrus oils and vanilla absolute. And it's got the most amazing fragrance and a lovely taste for ice cream. I've made that ice cream in the past as well with wild orange essential oil. And I have put in keto style kind of chocolate chips. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. So we had some of that after with a few berries, and that was our Christmas dinner basically. The other thing that I have eaten, I had some, I don't know if I had any that night or whether it was the night after. I was given some dark chocolate, so I did have a little bit of dark chocolate, which I haven't had in quite a long time. But I didn't have any ill effects from anything that I ate afterwards, which was fantastic because I wasn't sure whether I would or not, especially having some wine, because that was kind of giving me a bit of grief for a little while if I did that. And so yeah, I have had a great Christmas and I don't regret anything that I ate. I think that if you have trouble moderating after having some sort of carbohydrate, then yeah, you need to be really mindful of what you eat. But if you're not someone who's going to go off the rails by having a little bit, then if you do that once a year or every now and then, it's not going to kill you. So I can't actually remember what I ate last year, but I remember I was pretty strict, I think, with what I was eating. And but this year, I just allowed those couple of little extra bits that I don't regret. They didn't cause me any issues with my body, no gut issues or anything like that. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I consumed and what I allowed myself to have. It's not something that I do all the time, but it was just nice to be able to do that. So yeah, so that was my Christmas. How was your Christmas? Did you go off the rails? Did you eat things that you shouldn't have done? Did you stick really strictly to your carnivore diet? Did you allow yourself anything extra? Let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions, just sing out and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So yeah, I thank you very much for watching. New Year's coming up. I wish everybody the absolute best for 2024. It's going to be a fairly amazing year, I think. And I will talk to you again another day. Bye bye for now.